Now, any taco wouldn't be complete without a side of delicious guacamole. Chef Tjaarts is here to show us his favorite version that will get you ready for your next Taco Tuesday fiesta. Ay, ay, ay.
Oh, yes, indeed. So are you a smooth guacamole girl or are you a bit of a chunky one?
I love chunky guacamole.
Chunky guacamole?
But, I mean, it depends.
Oh, here we go. You sit on the fence.
Yeah, I like to rough it up nice and chunky. Get your nacho chips in there. Having a good time.
Absolutely. Texture. Yeah. Texture all the way through, indeed. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it, Chef Tjaarts. I mean, I believe I make the best guacamole in the game, hands down. And I'm actually seeing a few of the ingredients that I personally use as well. So I know it's going to be good.
Well, let's start with what the base of it is great ripe avocados at the end of the day. Now, with avocados, you want to try and, make this in advance to a point, but obviously not too, far down the line because it is going to oxidize and it's going to brown at the end of the day. So to prevent that lemon juice, any acidity, even a bit of vinegar if need be. And then I always put a layer, if I make this in advance, I put a layer of cling film right on the surface to stop any oxidization from the top. So that's a great way to stop this browning. You can make this in advance. Now, to mine here, I'm going to put a bit of chili, as much or as little chili as you like. I like a little bit of a kick, so seeds and all in there. And then something that not everybody does. Now, we take our onions and we chop our onions. Yeah. And most of us sit there and we chop like this. We like cheeky choppers and, we're all over the show. We've got big bits, small bits, and your knives are pretty much blunt and, I'm not going to say, terrible, but anyway, close enough. What you do is take your chopped onions and then go to your sink, and we've recreated a sink here with Pali, and if you just pour that water over my onions, and what we're going to do is just rinse off that bitter sort of very onion kind of flavour.
Okay.
And this is what sort of really makes a huge difference, because sometimes, you have this chopped up onions, and especially if you put it through a food process or whatever, it becomes very bitter, and it's actually not pleasant at all. So you just need to let those sort of drain off, and what I'm going to add in is a little bit of chili salt for a little bit of heat, a little bit of black pepper, and of course a little bit of olive oil just to sort of start breaking that up there. That's entirely up to you. You can put this into a food processor, you can do what you like with it, or just get a bit of masher, bit of old school there, but again, not too much. I mean, that's it. That's all I want to do there. And then I'm going to chuck in my onions, pop those into there, and then let's go in with our little bit of a fork and just sort of break that up there. So you've got big bits, little bits, a few little chopped tomatoes at the end just for a bit of colour. And of course, what is it without a little bit of coriander? And I just sort of take my leaves and just sort of, some dhania, just tear those up there and then just mix that. And there is how you create the perfect guacamole.
Now, I've already had a taste. Here we are pairing our gorgeous guacamole that Chef Tjaarts has made just with some nacho chips. I mean, again, keeping it Mexican, but this is very, very delicious. Very, very reminiscent as well of how I make it at home. Exactly the same ingredients. I love the fact that you added in the tomatoes. A lot of people don't do that often.
No, it's not something that's sort of very traditional or anything there, but it just adds a nice little sort of pop of colour, but just with that flavour, you get that sort of wonderful sort of, sort of burst of summer in your mouth there with a lovely ripe red tomato. But yeah.
And I love it because what I'm getting from this guac is like a good balance of flavour, and I think that's very important, is tasting along the way and adjusting to what your personal preference is, adding a bit more salt, adding a bit more acidity. But I'm loving just how coarse it is. You're getting the texture, you're getting the flavour.
Even your moustache likes it too. Even your moustache likes it too. Your moustache wants in on the action. I love it, and I know you will love it at home too. Now, to get your hands on this delicious homemade guacamole, courtesy of Chef Tjaarts, simply head over to afternoonexpress.co.za. I just come to work to eat.
I'll go. But one of you, Chef.
Oh, he's back.
Oh. Move way.
Clover Fresh Milk.
Made with love by Clover.